G'day, g'day, comrade subscribers. So, it's about time we got back to the UMPK-R computer. So, this finally arrived. Took a while because I wanted yellow with black printing to try and match as close as possible. I think I did pretty well with the size and the screw holes, although there's a screw hole in the bottom corners here that I missed because it's missing on this one here, but it is actually on the underside but not actually used, but that's fine, that's fine. And also the cutout for the speaker, I don't know how I messed that up. I mismeasured somehow, but you can see here the the difference. It's a lot thicker. So, but again, that's not a problem. So as you can see here, it's supposed to sit in like that. So I need to make that a bit wider, but otherwise I think it would fit. Go in like that, and then it's got a clamp on either side, and then it just connects there. The other thing I need to do obviously is get the SNMP, it's an SNMP 58, SNMP 58 connector, transfer it over to here because of the difference in pitch. It's the 2.5mm, which you can't get in Australia. You can get them in Ukraine and Russia still, but that's not so easy at the moment. So I just need to transfer that over. It would be nice to transfer over, say, the electrolytic as well, but you know, after 30 years, even Western ones, you know, fail. So it'll be all new parts. I did have a resistor array here, pull-up resistors, 2K I think, but of course I didn't think of ordering them. I have ordered them, but they're out of stock, so I'm just going to do a Soviet-style resistor array, just using individual resistors. The other thing is, hopefully I haven't got the key switches too close together. I don't think I've got enough key switches at the moment to complete it all, but the main thing will be just to get the basics working. Like we've got the reset button up there, Spros. Yeah. Obviously the machine's not working fully itself. I have replaced, I don't know if you remember, I have replaced most of the original 32 kilobit DRAMs with Western 64 kilobit. It's not possible to actually get 32 kilobit DRAMs in the West in this package size, so it's just 64 kilobits. I've got 3 more if I want to make everything the same. So mixture of 64 and 32 might be causing some problems, so I'll replace those remaining 3, I think it is, remaining 3, and see if that helps. But I might try fitting. See, all the screw holes pretty much all line up, so I did all right with that. But yeah, I'm just worried about the key switches will go in, but I'm just worried the key caps. Let's see. It turns out I should have enough. I just wasn't looking in the right place. So I'll put a couple of the key caps on, key switches and then keycaps, and just see if they'll fit. Okay, I've got 2 key switches in. I'm rather enamored with DSA profile at the moment. So I've got my space bars there. So what's that? That's AR2 / escape and F1. So I'm not going to worry about the Cyrillic. It's just going to be mainly the Latin characters. But I will, you know, we've got special keys like what's it there? Is it EB or is it ZB for delete? STR for CLS, FF, well I guess form feed, tab, PS for line feed. So for those special keys, so I've got a whole bunch of white blanks, I've got red blanks. I do have some full sets as well. depending on what colors I've got. So for example, we've got F1 to F4 along here, so I could perhaps use these F1 to F4, and I don't know, I could use this escape key, or I could use a just use a well, actually have a look at the, here we go. So this is the original, so it's pretty much white and red. So for example, we've got AR2 over here. I've moved it over here just to make everything fit. So they've used red and white. So like you've got US, we've got SS, we've got Ruslat, VK, Tab, PS. I'll think of something. But anyway, the main thing at the moment is just to see if they will fit together. That is the moment of truth. So let me figure something out. All right, I've gone red for the AR2. See, I do have Cyrillic keycaps. The problem is this is a JCUKEN layout, not a QWERTY layout. So the Cyrillic and the Latin keys do not line up, do not match up. I wonder if it's possible to actually get a special set made up. Anyway, so function keys. I might as well just use these ones here, I guess. So yeah, I just got all these on AliExpress. Just went mad and bought, like for example, I've got a whole lot of red blanks. I've got some blue blanks. I've got some lime blanks for whatever reason. I've got white blanks. I've got a whole lot of different size space bars and blanks there for space bars and tabs. And obviously I've bought these sets and also various sets of these as well. So let's put the Cyrillic away and let's get this F1 out and let's see if they're going to fit together nicely. F1. I wanted it more in the middle though. That's what I was looking. All right, let me figure this out. Let me find a good F1. Finally, to answer the question, yes, they do fit together. So the way I did the spacing on the PCB is just using the footprint, and I've just lined them up, the courtyard. And so yes, there is enough space if you line them up side by side like that. Cool. All right. Of course, still don't know if the keyboard's actually going to work. I could probably have changed. I could probably move this LEDs up a little bit. But anyway, okay, I'm going to do the keyboard, even though the computer doesn't work, just to see what it looks like. I think that'll be more interesting. And there we go. Mostly got it right. So I'm still not having much luck getting the positioning of these wider keys. So 1U, 2U, or maybe I meant to put a 2.5U in there or something. Can't remember now. Or maybe a 3U. But yeah, so obviously it's the weird JCUKEN G bracket ZH layout. So I've tried, my handwriting's not the best, so I've done my best. I figured it'd be better just to put what actually should be on there rather than using the printed key but having the wrong characters. The only problem is the US and F, they kind of, they might be getting a bit stuck. So I don't know if the key switch, if I maybe was a millimeter off, because none of the other keys have got that problem. So I might have been just slightly off lining that up. That's no problem. I can just take these off and just file down either side. But otherwise, hopefully it's okay. Now I know it looks nothing like the original, but I've tried to kind of improve it a bit, and obviously the key switches take up more space, so I can't really follow this layout. Now, for example, I've put all the cursor keys together there, and I've got the FF up there. Yeah, so we'll see. I'll do the rest. So they use a weird value, 68 nanofarad capacitors for some reason. I don't have any 68, so I'm just going to use 100 nanofarad, 104, pretty standard. Diodes, LEDs, and obviously, yeah, it's getting, I'm going to have to desolder this. Hopefully shouldn't be too bad with my, where's my engineer? Where's my engineer? There we go. Good old engineer. Solder sucker. Okay, let's continue. Okay, the SNMP58 connector, SNMP58-32/9095 is off. Relatively easy using the, what I always recommend, the Engineer Solder Sucker 003, made in Japan. So I got this on Amazon, 40 bucks or so, which I think is pretty good considering how much I use it. Now, hopefully, so I had to create this footprint myself, 2.5mm rather than 2.54. And does it line up? It does line up. Holes and everything, that's good. So far so good, but the question is, will it line up when I put it into the computer? Looks like it should do. There were a couple of spaces, little washers of spaces, so I've got to make sure I put those back on. But let's see. Okay, first moment of truth. Of course, second moment of truth, or the final one will be whether it actually works, but is everything going to line up? Holes and let's see, so push that down and all my holes are slightly okay, slightly off along the bottom. Holes are, unfortunately, my holes are slightly off. I think probably PCB itself is okay. It is kind of square on. I could probably, there's probably a little bit of wiggle room to make the holes line up, but I'm getting there. Not bad, I think. Not bad first time I've done something like this. So ideally, if the computer was working, you've now got this nice Cherry MX rather than this lavsan that no longer works. Yeah, okay. A few more bits and pieces to finish off. Diodes and the resistors. And then obviously get to work actually troubleshooting. Try and get the machine to work. Getting there. There we go. It's essentially done. Apart from the speaker, obviously. Yeah, it's a bit rough, my resistor array, but yeah. So diodes. Yeah. And I could try powering it on just to see if it has any improved effect. But I think I might have a break first. Long Island iced tea time, I think. I think I deserve that after all this. I'm quite happy with this. It looks good. I don't know if it'll work. Okay. All 8 DRAMs are replaced, 64 kilobit. And I am getting video output, so it's a very dodgy connection. I've just got it connected in there and I've been adjusting those 2 trim pots. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to be working. Just pressing reset. So unfortunately still some issue, it seems, with the machine. That's the 8224, the clock generator. So that's rather hot. Reset. Power off. Okay. So what else? Character ROM perhaps, although it is generating, it's not generating garbage. Okay, so I've powered back on, but you need to press the reset button. And now nothing. What was that? Oh, okay. Just a bit of gibberish up the top when I reset it. So I think the video output might be working okay now, but unfortunately the machine's just not working still. What else to change? So that's the monitor ROM. That's the character ROM. Characters are okay. That's the CRT controller. 8275, 8257, that's the DMA. See, that's the 8080. So yeah, unfortunately the problem is they're all 2.5mm pitch and they're all soldered in, so I can't easily just pull one out and replace it. To check see if that solves it or not. Alright, I think it's time to have a break for dinner. I'll come and have another look at it quickly. Keyboard seems to work. Well, the reset button does at least. Obviously, can't really tell much more at the moment. So, yeah, not sure what's going on. I think it's probably a bit late tonight, but tomorrow I'm thinking of putting the logic analyzer on the DRAM just to check what each bit's doing, make sure that each bit is doing something. I'm not sure what else to do. We can have a look at the screen. So we are kind of getting output. Press reset. So yeah, the way it normally works, similar to the Z80, because the Z80 is based on the 8080, is that it starts executing code at address 0. ROM's obviously not at address 0, so I think when it boots, the ROM is moved to address 0, and then the first instruction is to jump to basically the next address in the ROM address range, and then the ROM should start executing. So is the ROM executing? Are we not getting that initial jump? So I could probably put the analyzer on, try and check that. So I think the CRT controller is probably working because we are getting output. Is the 8080 working? Is the DMA controller working? I'm not too worried. These are the peripheral interfaces, one for the external interface, one for the keyboard. Not too worried about those at the moment. Obviously that's the character data there. That's the monitor ROM. It's not the original one. This is obviously you can see it's a Western one, but it should. Oh, putting my finger on it. testing. Yeah, so I think I'll do some more troubleshooting tomorrow. But let's power off. Big thank you to PCBWay for helping me out and sponsoring this video, well, sponsoring the whole channel, enabling me to basically take a punt, do this sort of work, because it's not cheap sometimes, especially when you get a large board like this. So I really appreciate it. So I think the board's worked out well. Maybe not so much my handwriting. A few little minor things, especially that to fix up, but I'm pretty impressed by how well it fits. So yeah, thanks again to PCBWay, and we'll continue on probably tomorrow. Bye for now.